Welcome back in, everyone, to EA Sports coverage of the NFL. It's the Bills in possession of the football as we rejoin the action in the first quarter. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Open receiver, that's David Njoku. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a pickup of 17 on that one and a Bills first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll look to throw here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Call it a gain of 3. And they're going to face a 3rd down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. The Bills passing game, getting them down the field. They've got another first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. The numbers for him from a week ago, 21 carries, 56 yards.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bills take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And a nice play on the end of it, an 18-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. He'll come out throwing here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now back to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up fourth down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals. All right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Now, it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on third down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
He'll look to throw. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
So on fourth down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. This is taken at about the 14. 51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Houston. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Uncorks one for Davis. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
And this might not be the last interception we see, Brandon. Both of these teams like to throw the football, but here in this snow, ball's not going to always go where you want it to. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed
Let's
up.
go! Green 39! Green!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
They'll drop the throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 18 on that one as the Bills are going to have a first down. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. A decent run there following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw. Pass incomplete. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
But he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense to give their defense a little bit of a break.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw here. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at the 33. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage. Back at the 43-yard line.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And oh, look at that, a diving catch. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
I know it looks like fun to guys like you and me. We're up here in the booth and everyone watching on television, but are you kidding me? In the snow, that type of a play, in the cold, you know that had to hurt to make that play.
I'm just mad he didn't make a snow angel while he was down there. Opportunity missed. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And now out comes Houston. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 12 carries, 53 yards, and a touchdown.
I was so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working, and they expect more of the same in this game, although they're prepared for some adjustments by the defense they expect to see.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 7-0 is our score, and we're back to upstate New York after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade.
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and our drive continues here to start quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jurrell Casey in there to sack him for a loss of 6. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
All right, here we go.
They're going to look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Takes us up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. 3rd and 11. And some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime.
Here we go. 3.
Looking to throw. He shakes him off. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Yeah, that play was pretty well doomed right from the start. The pressure was really affecting him. Collapsed everything in the pocket. He had to move around, try to get it downfield. Incomplete.
And on now is the punter, as he's on to punt for Houston. It's taken to the 26. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out come the Bills. Now, if you're a fan